Well, yeah, I think winning is hard. It is hard. I don't know if people know how hard that is, but it is hard. But I will say that when you have to coach players that were older when we got the job, they have a certain amount of things that they're used to doing. So having them change their philosophy in 1 year, and that's what we did because he had a bunch of seniors. That was difficult, but you have to have great leadership, and that was the one thing we were blessed with. We had really, really good leadership, and that allowed us to have the kind of year we had 2 years ago, but it also allowed us to have the kind of recruiting we've been able to have to maintain winning.
So last year you got one starter, and many probably would expect a dip. You still make the tournament. So what
hmm
happened right?
we my staff, we did a great job of helping starting to balance out our classes, and we had a couple transfers that really really helped us. And when you say one starter, we had one player returning, not just one starter, one player returning. That was Phil Pressey. So there was a lot that went right with that team, and to give ourselves a chance to be in postseason play. Although we would have liked to have played longer in the NCAA tournament, and I think that's the plan going forward. But I was definitely encouraged and really pleased with what we accomplished last year.
So while it looks the same this year as far as the starter, there is more
hmm
continuity.
There is there's Ernest Ross, Jabari Brown, Ryan Rosberg, Tony Criswell, Stefan Jankovic. Those guys were on the team last year. We didn't have that the year before, and I think that helps. And then we've had a good recruiting class. We were going to need those guys to be contributors, the four freshmen, along with Keanu Post, a junior college transfer, and Jordan Clarkson, who's a set out guy. That those guys are going to have to contribute. So I like the fact that we do have some guys coming back that understand how we want to do things.
What was different about the league? Did you have to recruit a different player, or not necessarily? The Big 12 was obviously terrific in basketball.
It was a
Or
great
was
league.
it not as big a deal as the media fans might want?
Well, I think the SEC is a more athletic league, but I think very similar that they're great coaches, great conferences, both of them. The one thing that was different in terms of for me personally as a coach looking at it is a very physical league. I was shocked at how physical the SEC was, and but I thought our guys made an adjustment as the year went on, and I think we've made adjustments in recruiting and understanding how we got to play to be successful in this league.
And Ernest was telling me you got a new assistant that's kind of helping ramp up the defense. Is
hmm
that in part an answer to the physicality of
Yeah,
the league?
we needed to be better defensively, and Mark Phelps, who he's talking about, has done a tremendous job so far. And I hate to say this, I'm more of an offensive guy, and but so I needed that balance, and he's been focusing on that. And I think our guys are doing a good job with that.
Is that the next step?
Yeah, we got to get better defensively. We don't want to win championships. You got to defend, and we understand that that's important for us. We haven't had the bodies defend. My first year, we didn't. But we were much better than they were the year before. And then last year, our numbers were way better defensively than they were the year before. We just still need them better this year too.
Is this an underrated league? It seems like the potential here, because there's been a lot of guys like you, new coaches in the first year or two.
hmm
And as you guys stay and grow, it seems like the league as an entity, I see it getting better. And you know what I mean? Because
No
everybody's talking
question.
about how down it has
Yeah.
been in the last 5 or 6 years.
Well, I know Kentucky won a national championship 2 years
Yeah, there's
ago
been three in the last
in
10
Florida.
years.
Yeah, so I think last year, yeah, we would all say it was down, and I think partly because it was a young league. There's a lot of teams that were very, very young. Transition, with Texas A&M and Missouri coming into the league, so it was a transition year. But you look at teams like Vanderbilt that lost two guys in the first round. It wasn't just Kentucky. Bradley Beal leaves Florida. They had a lot of guys leave that went to the NBA early. So you got to take all that into account. Why the league wasn't what it could have been. And I think you see now, the LSU's, they're older, the Alabama's older, Tennessee's older. You're going to see this league be very, very good.
Finally, you like the idea of Nashville being a semi kind of permanent thing like the football has in Atlanta? Is that a good idea? Is it?
I like it. I do like it. I think for, our fan base, I think it's not that far drive, and I think the town embraced the tournament, and last year my first experience, so I think it's a good place for us.